so let's start from here. So we're just gonna go over these. I'll try to give you guys like what I'm thinking while I'm playing. If you guys watch me play, I'm like, what the hell? Why did I make that decision? Etc. Etc. And as you guys already know, if you're not new to the stream, you already know Sylint is legitimately one of my main training partners. And always has been, pretty much since Xrd. But this match is hard. First and foremost, this match is hard for Jacko. Like, this match is hard. There's no two ways to, slice this. But there are some ideas, like I said before. I'll be able to run it by you guys and give you guys some decision-making, ideas and things like that for Jacko. So, one of our hardest matchups. Let's take a look. All right, so I'm gonna start here. This was a 1st to 5. As you're watching, feel free to ask questions.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
So, my goal here isn't to try to force neutral. Like, when I say force neutral, I'm not trying to force my way in from neutral. I'm trying to ease my way in and be like obnoxious. Now we can mount offense. Now we can do some work. Force the count in here. And a minion set, guaranteed. So, quick pause moment here. So, whenever you do an RC and you set a minion, it is pretty much uncontestable. Like, unless you press a slow button afterwards, right? So if you're pressing like 5K, 5P, 5P, 5K, and close slash are all fast normals to stop and discourage them from trying to challenge. So anything else prior to that, anything else slower than that, it's not really a good option. Unless you really have a good read on like their pressure, right? On like, if you have a read on pressure and how they're pressing buttons against your pressure is what I'm trying to say. Let's go. And Axel's far slash anti-airs everything. There's no button on the stick for Axel that does not anti-air. And we use JD there to try to call out 6P or close slash. And we close up the game there with a JD. Because JD is like the god. JD is an amazing normal. So if you're playing Jacko, learning how to use JD is very important. Except for in this situation right here, we get counter hit and we lose literally like 30%. And now we gotta deal with the command grab here, which is not a good look. So we jump that and we escape. So here, like, this is again the hard part, right? A lot of things that we do as Jacko force us back to neutral. And then this is one of the biggest things about fighting Axel is his command grab side swaps with you. So if he is in the corner, he now instantly switches positions and gets back into his win condition, which is full screen, in this case 3/4 screen, guaranteed meaty. In other words, this sucks right here where we're at. So we gotta deal with this. And great PRC there from Sylint at 6 feet. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
So we take the guaranteed chip damage. We try not to get too hectic here, but again, good read on the jump there from Sylint. Not easy to summon for free. Yep, good reactions on his behalf to not let me get a free minion out here. Alright, I committed to the 2D here because I wanted to fish for a counter hit. Had that missed, I would have been really tight. But we mount a lot of damage here, which is good. We return back to neutral. We get the guaranteed jump meaty. It's our pressure now. Unfortunately, RC a little too early here. 6P? Oh, no 6P on my behalf. Great burst there from Sylint. So now I have the life lead, but it's still not truly in my favor. Because like I've been saying before, like Axel can force you to do things. So we close it out here with a minion toss into a minion attack. So yeah, as you can see already, like the hardest part of this matchup honestly is neutral. Because he has really good ways to control neutral space and like cover specific angles in which you want to jump into, or you can just preemptively strike in the spaces you want to move into, which is really scary. So you want to keep in mind, like, you want to keep your neutral as clean as possible. I mean, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna get hit in neutral along the way, but it's just one of those things. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next game. Alright, game 2.
Let's rock.
So again, we're still trying to be annoying with the JD neutral. We're not trying to put ourselves at risk. But get caught here, unfortunately. So pretty much at this point, like, I'm still looking for a good way to like get in. And something to kind of point out here in this round is that, like, even though I made contact with jump S, and then I got hit by 2K. The issue with that is that the what's going on, Juven? See you, big dog. Wait for that to kind of subside. Hope you're doing well, big fella. Welcome back with 44 months. Welcome back to the Stardust Crusaders. The Stardust Crusaders, where diamond is unbreakable. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, what I want to point out here is that even though we got the jump in, it was a little too high to kind of force pressure. So 2K from Axel is very prominent. But the reason for that is that 2K low profiles for standing K. So at that stage, I would have to use like a quicker normal, so maybe like a 2P. Even though 5K is 7 frames, he can still low profile it. Or maybe even, so my options at that point would have probably been 2P or close slash. Those would probably been the best choices, or backdash and try to whiff punish it, or just backdash and let it whiff and then try to mount more pressure from that point. So now we got pressure time. Got lots of minion gates to work with. We got goons on the screen. The YRC did not let me get the pressure here. Opposite not going to a minion there because I was like, let's see if he's paying attention. So hard to bait the burst at that point. And we close it out here. Trying to hold to the whole goal there was for me to try to hold the corner and not like give it up too freely. A lot of the JDs here are used to try to force him to move forward. Now granted, Axel doesn't really have to move forward. And there it is. The rainwater into 2H. The Axel special. And now we're back to neutral. Even with me instant blocking that move, it's still... I think there's a chance I probably went for an air throw. It's because lately I've been feeling really good about my air throw game, so I'm trying my best to like make sure I can keep that up. and the run up throw on the minion. That was a quite the challenge there. Misjudgment on the minion there, unfortunately. But you could definitely get some better like plus frames off of soccer ball picking the minion off of that position. You take the reset situation there because it was a really good 6P anti-air. Definitely something to get back in the lab and mess around with. Because when you're close to the corner, you can get a situational combo off counter at 6P with a minion. And checked for my troubles. Close slash, man. At normals is... Axel's close slash is so good. Now, as I told you guys before, like the proximity where it activates, because it's a proximity normal, aka a close slash, right? So since it's a close slash, like where the close slash activates is very, very scary. Like it's a range in which a 2P would work, but you know, if he goes first, you're not gonna win going second. You know, you have to already have a 2P or something like that coming out to in order to stop that or discourage it. But it's tricky. It's very, very tricky. All right, game 3.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
And you see, another reason why I'm using a lot of jump dust is because I don't want to play that game with Axel on the ground, right? With dealing with his air dash jump slash. It's just, it's a very, very obnoxious normal to deal with, and it clashes too often than not. So it makes it very difficult to want to beat it out consistently because you can't beat it out consistently. That's the issue, right? You can't beat out that normal consistently. And we'll just take a free command grab. Oh yeah, 6K, 2S. Like the ranges in which he can cover, like I've been saying, it's very difficult. Now I knew the burst was coming, but it was late. I jump canceled a little late and ended up getting hit out of about 3 frames, which is unfortunate. Now there I decided to opt for 2D instead of dealing with the, what's it called, the 5P, right? Because the mix-up is after they do the rainwater, are they gonna go for 5P or 2D or 2H? Excuse me. Unfortunately, we get smoked here. We get smoked. Unfortunately, very, very tough as you can see. Like neutral, this is hard, man. That's gonna be the underlying theme of this whole scenario here, going over these matches, is that neutral's hard, man. Neutral's very, very hard, and you have to weather that storm of his normals in order to get anything popping. You have to weather that storm, and it is not an easy storm to weather. But like when you happen to get into those weak points, it has to count.
Duel 1.
You have to make it count. And you can see even calling minions is hard. Like he can just literally fight you full screen. Setting out minions is like, it's a matchup where you have to fight with your normals more often than not until you get something started. And yeah, just getting smashed on here in neutral. Sometimes some ranges, Axel's jump S doesn't look like it's gonna hit the way it should. Now in this situation, I didn't opt to go for a wall break because I want to keep that character in the corner. And there it is, the lovely meaty I like to go for off of throw. Throw a minion set, meaty 5H into soccer ball kick and maintain pressure. It is a chunk of damage if you disrespect it. So at this stage, I'm just trying my best to keep him in the corner and just not let him move, but you know, we can get challenged at any given point in time, right? And there, unfortunately, I misjudged when the minion was going to come back for the soccer ball kick. It's kind of unfortunate. Now the unfortunate thing. Now we gotta play neutral all over again. Now granted, we're winning, but it's still having to play neutral all over again is really tough. We'll clutch it out here. Take a dub. Again, neutral's hard. Again, neutral is hard. Neutral too hard, bro. Alright, next game. Again, this was a first to 5. Played quite a bit of games.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
So also, I don't really opt to use too many attack openers. I tend to just kind of use a movement opener in the opening starts of the rounds because, like, I don't want to try to contest this character at the start of the game. I'd rather like try to whiff punish him than to start. Oof.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Yeah, running under Axel's 5P is kind of difficult. Alright, now we got a cross-up situation here. So now I'm just trying to just stack on the pressure, and now at this stage I'm like, alright, well, I've pretty much won this exchange. And the corner's still buying, you know, wall regeneration is still there, so that's why the wall break was kind of short at that situation. I'm okay to take that trade. So I probably should have went for super and I'd have won the game. But sometimes like you get caught up in the buffers. But we ended up taking this game here, so food for thought. If you get a chance to land your super in the corner with Jackal, do your best to get it, whether you unsummon your minions or whatever. And the big reason for unsummoning your minions is so that in case you've already committed to something, you can just unsummon and not let them do their, like if they're gonna hit the opponent, it's better to unsummon the minion and then get your super in. Alright. The Goku and Vegeta. Something like that. As you can see, like again, just taking it slow in the matchup and not overextending is such a big give and take. Out for a tick throw. Get the sandwich pressure started. Actually, this is something I admittedly need to work on. Is when I get a sandwich situation, I gotta make sure that like I'm able to get the confirm. So many times the minion hit launches them so high up there, sometimes I don't get my confirms. So I have to come up with something a bit better from like a raw minion hit. Yeah, command grab for wall break is really good. And that right there is one of the key things I think is going to be big for this matchup down the line. Is the ability to get bomb minion. And I got caught by command grab for using JD. It's one of the things where you have to not exhaust your double jump or use your super jumps. So super jump JD and then you still have your air dash. And I'm dead. Yeah, see, look how fast this match ended. Like, these things can just go so haywire so quickly in this matchup. Things can go haywire so fast. Sometimes I admit with Jacko I get overzealous and I should probably slow down on using minion attack, right? Because minion attack is actually plus 15. So that's a very large number to be on plus frames, which opens up some more doors for other options, right? As opposed to like just abusing the plus frames. I should find more ways to abuse the plus frames, essentially what I'm getting at. Yes, minion attack is plus 15. The one where they sword swipe up. Plus 15 on block. Talk about Gamma Blade. But at this point, look at this. I'm just walking. There's no point for me to try to run in. Right? Better to just accept my space, move in slowly. Man. That air dash. I mean that 2H. Yeah, there it is, man.
Never forget about that. 'Cause that's all we got.
2H is... Ugh. 2H is so hard to deal with. There's so many characters. Now that jump into JD, I was looking for a burst. It didn't come. So it's really smart on Sonic to have to not opt for that. So I'm doing a pretty good job of controlling like the corner, but yeah, Sonic's still not giving up that burst. This stage hides access command throw? I don't think so. And the jump S at an angle that's very difficult to 6-speed. Very, very difficult to 6-speed. Neutral is hard. I think we're coming up on the last one. Yeah, it's the last one here. So again, It's just trying to weather the storm of those normals, man. That's the story of this matchup. That is the story of this matchup. You have to weather that storm. If you don't weather it, it's just it just becomes super easy for this character to win. Like if you overextend, he'll anti-air freely, get easy damage. If 3-piece confirmed hurts. So here I'm just trying my best to, like, you know, do my best to keep that pressure, but I kind of low-key regretted, like, breaking the wall here at this point because of, man, I just don't want to play neutral again. This is the hard part. I'm gonna keep reiterating it, man. It's just, it's not a matchup you want to go back to neutral too much. He's a single character, I would say, you know, wall breaking is probably ill-advised. Because that's the one system mechanic that works in his favor. If you're breaking the wall without a super, I feel like it's just ill-advised. And I missed on my jump meaty, and I die for it, unfortunately. Get punished for that. Oh no! In a lot of ways, Axel's kind of like Naga Ryuki, right? Where he's like constantly doing damage with normals. He's constantly doing damage with his Rensen. Rensen just slowly like chips you out. Yep. And 6K to close it out because it's so hard to get next to this character.
Wins.
Very hard. It's very, very, very hard.